Racing here with another video. Haven't posted in a few weeks, but thought I would, as it's always good. I enjoy it. Right, here we are at IMOLA in the GT3, using the Porsche, and it's another 45-minute race, so it's pretty long, but not as long as the other endurance races that are available in iRacing. Sometimes they go up to 2, 6, 12, and even 24 hours, depending on what race you're doing in the event. But like I said, this is a 45-minute race, so it's not super long, but it requires your attention and focus, because obviously in racing, it's super easy to make a minimal mistake and kind of ruin the rest of the race. So green flag is about to drop in P14, and we are getting ready to go right about now. So throughout the video, excuse me, we're going to do some slight commentary, try not to do a whole lot. First few laps are kind of boring, but the second lap I think actually gets pretty good. So just let you guys watch and enjoy. If you have any comments or anything that you'd like to see, or I guess any changes, yeah, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and enjoy.
The next car is Rodriguez, car number 32. Their rating is 1.3. Seconds. There's an incident in Reversa 1. He's reeling you in. The gap's now 0.37. The next car is Andreas, car number 37, and their rating is 1.1. Yellow flag, there's an incident in Tosa, it looks like Paris.
As you can see, there's the next 3 positions in front of me, starting to reel these drivers in, and it's very easy to feel tempted, or actually be tempted to dive in on the inside here coming up in turn 1. But sometimes it's easier to take a step back, kind of check up, only because it's, first few minutes of the the race. You don't want to bin it and completely ruin the rest of your race when you just started. So try to take the slow approach to it. Obviously, if the position is open, excuse me, go ahead and take it. But again, in the beginning of the race, it's always important to get familiar with the track. And as the laps count down, you start getting more and more comfortable, start pushing more and more as well. And it's a lower split as well, so it's always nice to be a little cautious and not too much. It's a little difficult sometimes to find a balance, like right there.
Alright, Mark, stay close, wait for him to make a mistake.
And I am using the Race Lab apps on this race, but I always use them. They have really good stuff, and it's free, and you get enough of the features for free that it's pretty useful. But if you get to the paid subscription, I think it's like $5. You get a lot more features that you can use. So I've kind of grown to like what I have on the screen right now, the fuel calculator, and then on the top right is the interval of the drivers around you. And also it helps you because it'll let you know their driver rating and the safety rating, and also the time split. So it's a pretty nice little feature. So keeping it up with the few guys in front of me, and a couple drivers behind me, haven't completely left them. Yeah, so far the race is pretty solid. Sitting at P12. See if we can get past this guy here. Having a look to the inside. Don't pass the braking zone a little bit. It gives him plenty of space. Trying to give him space. And we finally get through. So made up one more spot. Moved to P11. Now I gotta slightly defend, but not really. Now it's just about putting a good few corners coming up, putting it a good line. Don't want to make the pass for nothing. And that was nice of the GTP to not send it, and he almost does again there. So again, with this race lab apps, you can see what position the drivers are behind you as I almost lose it and get not hit from the rear, surprisingly. But yeah, the GTP, he likes to, sometimes the drivers just don't really know what to do with all of the speed of that car. But like I was saying earlier, using the race lap apps, you can kind of tell what position the drivers are around you, depending on the class that they're in. And I could see that he was in P12, so typically drivers who are lower in the standings in their respective class kind of are a little all over the place. That's what I've come to know. Not everybody, but fair share. So try and always use your mirrors, use your camera. As you can see, I have my movie camera working, so I like to use that most of the time. And then I have my blind spot radars that pop up. But yeah, like I said, just try and keep an eye on the drivers behind you, especially in the GTP class, because they're pretty quick. And we have another GTP car coming up behind. He's in P2 for his class, so don't want to ruin his race. So leave him the inside. Looking at P11, that was the driver that was just off the track that we passed. So now we're sitting in P10. Like I said, another GTP car. So they come up quick. So far, doing pretty well. Haven't had any big issues. Only got one incident from going off the track. But yeah, sitting in P10. Made a few passes, which is important at the start of the race, and just putting in the laps now. So we have P9, 2.7 seconds ahead. I could see them up there. Got another few GTP drivers behind me, which is perfect that they're going to pass me on the straight. Off the track there. Now I got 2x. It's pretty easy to go off the track. Alright, so I'm making progress, catching the guys in front. Got a couple GTP cars behind me. So we're going to try and let them through without losing too much time to the driver in front of me. Unfortunately, these guys are pretty good. So we just gotta pick and choose when we can pass, when not to pass. That's the fun part about multi-class racing that I enjoy, is it's a little bit more strategic as a driver, because you gotta process all of the things that you're doing and also process information from the drivers around you, while not forgetting to hit your braking marks. So we got another GTP about 1 second behind. He's going to be coming up here, so I'm going to try and let him through. Hopefully he doesn't cause an accident with me or anything. Flashing lights. Alright, we're good. Yeah, these curbs on this track are pretty abusive. You hit them and they kind of send you knocking. Definitely throw your car around, especially if you do what I just did. So we're catching back up. Mitch is doing pretty well. He's catching up to Cisco Rodriguez. So we're going to try and stay close to him and see if we can make up some ground here and continue our progress of moving on up through the field. Let me know in the comments below if you have any preferences over cars, preference of setups, etc. I think this is a open race, so you can kind of do your own setups. And actually, I've been using ChatGPT, which has been somewhat helpful. Sometimes it actually is pretty good, and sometimes it's not, and it just sucks. But you can kind of tell it what you're looking for, and it's kind of helpful. It'll give you like a setup for qualifying, setup for race. You can tell it what sector, times you have. It'll kind of hone in what it's actually getting from you, information-wise. So it's kind of cool being able to come up with your own stuff. So far I've been using it, and it hasn't been too bad. But yeah, if you guys have any setup preference or anything like that, please let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas or anyone that you guys prefer to use. So we just had that GTP almost rear-end us a couple corners back. Unfortunately, he didn't. So we're just gonna keep driving, try to stay clean. Do a good exit here, get a run. Try and stick with this driver through the next few corners. See what we can do. Yeah, that corner, I just messed it up there. Totally missed the curb on the right side, threw me off going in for the left hand. So this is one of those things where you start to think about your grid position. Also the driver in front of you, how fast that driver is, how fast you are, and also thinking about your fuel. because you're gonna have to come in soon. So it's one of those things you think about doing an undercut or an overcut, and I think an undercut would work pretty well. Given that this track is, sorry, I just can't pronounce my words right now. Track is pretty tight and technical, and there's not a lot of opportunity for passing, and it's even worse when you have the GTP car coming up behind you. So trying to keep an eye out for the best time to really go into pits and get some new not new tires, but get some fuel. Because I don't like to put new tires on. There's really no need, because if you look at your tire graph in iRacing, you'll see that you're usually at like 98, 96% when you go in for tires. So you got plenty of tires left. So we got a run up here, but it's not a really good passing opportunity, so we're just gonna stay behind, excuse me, and try and make a pass here soon. Whether that's in the pits doing an undercut, which means you go into the pits before the car in front of you, and that way you have clean track when you come out of the pits and you put in a really good lap. And if this driver goes in after you, chances are you can jump them. So they call it an undercut. The overcut is the opposite. You stay out longer while they go in. We're about 23 minutes in. Or actually, I'm sorry, 23 minutes remaining. So it's about halfway through the race. So far I've made 9 positions. 5, I'm sorry, P9, but I made 5 positions. And I feel like I can make at least another 2 if I do things right. And get an undercut and put in some solid laps. So right here he gets a compromised exit. I get a good run, but he's still on my inside. You can see the orange square popping up from my blind spot, but he ends up backing out and I take the corner. So I got clean air, and the most important thing is not messing up this next braking zone, because that pass will be for nothing, which I fortunately don't do. This one as well, good rotation, and just start putting the laps in. So you can see the fuel level indicator is on, so I think in the Porsche it's like 5 laps of fuel remaining before you go completely empty. So the good thing is I got in front of him. Now I just got to try and pull away and get a little gap between me and him, driver behind Mitch, so that when I go into the pits, I can come out in front of him. Alright, so we got a lap car in front of me, Esteban. I'm going to go into the pits here and get some fuel. Got about 1 second.
We should come
That
out
opened
into
up the gap to the driver
position.
behind. So we're going to get some fuel, no
That's 20 minutes
tires,
to go, 20 minutes.
get a good stop right here. It's so easy to overshoot the
Front
corner,
right,
or not the corner, but overshoot
rear
your
right, 92.
pit box. All right, off we go.
Car ahead is 2 laps behind.
Okay, now we're coming back
Stay
onto the
behind
track,
line. Past the car behind.
and got some GTP cars behind me,
The next
but we
car
got a
is
nice little
Adam,
gap
car
here,
number 27. Their rating is 1.3.
so I don't have to worry about moving over completely. I can go out and get a good out lap right now, which is what I exactly needed. So we're gonna let these guys go through,
Left side,
stay on the racing
clear
line, and
left.
they can go on the inside
Car left,
because they're much faster.
clear left.
So I've learned that running with the GTP, as you're in the GT3 car, staying on the racing line so they don't compromise your time, because honestly they have so much speed and downforce they can kind of go anywhere on the track and get through the corners so much faster than you can, so there's no point in really trying to get out of the way other than just stay on the racing line, and when they have enough speed they can just go around you. You don't want to jig or do any fakes or anything like that, just drive straight and clean and they will get around you very quickly.
Adam ahead is pitting.
Alright, so the drivers that were behind us are in the pits right now getting fuel. Colin Capone, he was right behind us in the beginning of the race, and there's Cisco right there. So we did an undercut, made a lot of track time, and I just passed him. If you can remember, he was a couple seconds in front of me. So we just got in front of him by doing the undercut. Now we have this car coming up, and we got another one behind, getting sandwiched by two GTP cars. It's so difficult to pronounce it sometimes. Tongue twister. But fortunately we got out in front, so we're sitting in P10, and when the fuel cycle goes through we should be sitting P8, maybe even P7, depending on the circumstances of the other drivers and all that kind of stuff. Because sometimes, I almost cooked it. Sometimes they end up having some bad stops or whatever, so you never know. So again, just stay in your racing line and let these guys go by. Pretty straightforward. Got 3 of them. This dude's be rolling. They're fast. So you can see I was at 2 seconds at the beginning of turn 1 with Cisco, and he these 3 cars go by, GTP class, and they drop down to 1.5. So it's real easy to lose time with the cars as they drive by you. So you gotta kind of be strategic and pick and choose where to let them by. But at the end of the day, they're much faster. So they feel the need to throw it on the inside. There's nothing you can do about it. You just got to be paying attention as best as possible. Oh my gosh. Another incident. So unnecessary. There's 4 of them on this race. Just track limits by just the smallest margin. It is what it is. It's the kind of stuff that I want to show you viewers that I don't know if a lot of other drivers or YouTube people talk about, but I figured I'd just leave all of this on here so you can see. And by no means am I the best driver out there, but really just want to show the video so that you can see and hopefully feel led to do the same. Make a YouTube channel and start from scratch and see what can happen. Alright, so far we're putting in a good lap because I'm still ahead. My best lap time. Got 2 more corners to go. See if I can put in a good lap here. Previous best was a 1:44.7. Yeah, there we go. Still off the pace. Just much better than, completely being in last place, so not too bad. Alright, so we got about 10 minutes, well, actually 12 minutes. 11 minutes and 45 seconds right now. Coming up, and races can take a while. You don't realize it when you're driving, but when you're commentating, they can be kind of long. Much better. I'm starting to figure that corner out, which is pretty nice. Still in the green. See if I could hold on to it for the next few laps. Corners, I mean. Jeez, not laps. Next few corners. Last corner. Oh, bummer. It's not too bad. A few tenths, hundreds, really. A few hundreds off. Which is actually a pretty good lap. Being consistent like that makes all the difference. Alright, so we got another GTP car coming up behind. last 2 minutes.
Clear left.
They can be so long. Because by this time you're kind of in no man's land like I am. Just putting the laps in, but I feel like it's taking forever. So easy to make mistakes. That was a really good corner. Nice and smooth. Oh my gosh, another track, off track. Jeez. So again, that's 5 times where I went off track, but it's completely unnecessary. And every time you do, those incident points end up ruining your ranking. So it's those little mistakes like that end up costing you in the end. Opened up about a 3-second gap to Cisco behind. So I'm happy with that. Not sure if we'll be able to catch the driver in P7, Ali. But I have a feeling he hasn't gone into pits yet, but he very well could have. Maybe he's just that much faster, which is possible.
You've used half your fuel. That lap was a 144.36.
It's a pretty good lap. Beat my previous best time. I'll take it. Starting to figure that corner out. A little bit of too much speed on that entry, but unfortunately I was able to get it stopped enough and get the car rotated through trail braking.
That last lap was a 144.49. Okay, Mark. Faster car approaching. Rodriguez is getting closer. The gap is now 2.5 seconds. Carla, clear left. That's 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes.
the smoothest, not the smoothest, sorry. On the exit there. Should probably shift the third gear there in that last corner. Sometimes having a lower gear, higher gear, however you want to say it, in a third gear, instead of staying in the red line a second, might be the better option there.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
There we go, that's much better. I'm also up on my lap time. See if I can finish strong. No, I'm still saying it second. I feel like third gear would be slower because the RPMs aren't as high, but sometimes you could roll through the corner and carry more speed if you're in a higher gear.
Sector 3 is 0.38 off the pace. There's a faster car approaching. Blue flag.
Alright, so we're down to 1 minute, roughly. Got a few more laps to go. Try and finish out strong, not get any more incident points because I want to finish P8. And this guy decides to try and on the inside there, which is completely ridiculous.
Blue flag.
But he's racing for position, so is this guy. Okay. Just let them on through.
Blue flag.
Yikes.
Car left. Clear left.
Yeah, those guys are for position. That's why they're driving so hard at the end. Should be last lap, I think. Maybe one more after this. There we go, last lap. Start at P14, finishing P8, if all things go well. Made up 6 spots, I'll take it. It's a solid points finish. Solid race as well. The A-class is pretty difficult. If you don't qualify top 10, top 5, then your chances of winning, let alone finishing in the top 5, is very difficult. It's much higher. So anytime you can move forward on the race, throughout the race, anytime you can move forward, it's always a plus. Even if it's just 2 or 3 positions. All that matters is making it to the end, making up spots. go. Guy locks up there. Yeah, he's definitely sending it.
Courier, car number 5 is leading the race.
Sometimes you can see some pretty crazy wrecks from the GTP cars. Because they're just so fast. Guys are swerving left and right. They don't even know it. Last corner. Ooh, understeer. Just finish. Checkered flags coming up. Let's go, baby.
1 gallon remaining.
P8. I'll
Place.
take it.
Okay, it's over. Good drive.
It's a good, solid race. Had fun. Didn't have any crazy issues other than the 5 incident points from me just driving like a dweeb. Going off track, but hey, live and learn. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe, click the notification bell, and like the video. I'm gonna try and do what I can to post consistently, but I travel a lot for work, so sometimes it's not possible. But thanks for watching, and I'll be posting another video here shortly. Alright, thanks.
That's the end of the session. Watch your speed limit in the pits. Pit lane speed limit is 50 miles per hour.